नौकरी कैसे लगता है यार? मतलब हाउ डू आई गेट अ जॉब? सीजीपीए मैटर करता है. इफ आई एम अ 5 पॉइंटर, आई नो कोडिंग, कैन आई गेट प्लेस्ड एट डेल?
Hello everyone. It is said that charity begins at home. So while tirelessly working with education for last 6 years on the face of Bhubaneswar, the idea to do something for our own tribe has always dawned on us. So today we sit here with some young brooding corporates who happens to be our much loved alumni from different years, and we are sitting here to talk about three major points. First, how to get placed. Second, what to do after we get placed. And third, how to grow in your own career. So with this, Shomik, please introduce our guests.
So before introducing our guests, I'm Shamik. I'm the youth coordinator of Desire Foundation, and along with me, I have Shayan Bhattacharya, who is the assistant youth coordinator of Desire Foundation. So in the guest list, we have three jewels of Desire. We have Disha Kaur, who is a topper, if I can say. Her CGPA is 9.63. She just got placed at Dell Technologies. I have Titikyo, who is also a jewel, and he's placed at ZS Associates. And I have Preetha, who is the flag bearer of how your career should look like after 5 years. Preetha was placed at Deloitte, and currently she has worked on site and has come back to join another startup with a big fat paycheck. So welcome everyone, and it's good to see our alumni is back, and hope we'll have a good time now. If you are watching this podcast, I've just started this video. Let me just tell you, we have divided this into three segments. The first part will be Disha, will be telling you how to get placed, and next we'll come to Titikyo, who will tell what to do after getting placed, and then we have Preetha, who will tell how to grow at your career. So if you are looking for these specific questions, this podcast is divided into three parts. You can easily skip to the part you want to watch and continue. I'll start with Disha. दिशा, नौकरी कैसे लगता है यार? मतलब हाउ डू आई गेट अ जॉब? मतलब इफ आई हैव जस्ट जॉइंड अ कॉलेज, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, हाउ डू आई गेट अ जॉब? व्हाट आर द थ्री स्टेप्स?
तो सबसे पहले तो when you just join a college, don't think about getting placed. Think about developing yourself. एकदम ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट पे फोकस करना है एंड देन स्लोली थिंग्स स्टार्ट फॉलिंग इनटू प्लेस. जब आप थर्ड ईयर पे जाओगे तो देन यू विल रियलाइज हाउ द कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड is approaching you. So initially we don't need to worry about placements, but then slowly we need to get serious about it by in our third year. So that's what I would say कि third year is the stepping stone that getting
so third year में आके अब डिसाइड करना है कि प्लेसमेंट लेना है. So how do we start?
For starters, I would say कि keeping it slow, because in the college we already have a lot of other things to do, like assignments and enjoying and things like that. So keeping it slow in third year, my mantra was to do one coding question each day and half an hour to 30 minutes of aptitude ekdam for a start. Then slowly जब I got a hang of it, तो धीरे धीरे frequency increase किया, थोड़ा timing increase किया, किसी दिन एकदम chill किया, कुछ भी नहीं किया. So keeping an equal balance of taking breaks and getting serious about placements. So that is how I did it. And then participating in online coding challenges, even if you fail miserably and you are the last one on the leaderboard, just even a mere participation and looking at how the things are there does help a lot.
Okay, so third year के starting से ही I have to start preparing for placements.
Yeah, third year पे start से serious होना है.
It's not like कि हाँ मतलब मार्च महीने में जाके I'll start. No, third year day zero and I start placements in small terms. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And how do you balance it with the ongoing curriculum? How do you balance the rest of it?
So about balancing, डेली 1 hour प्लेसमेंट के लिए निकालना आई थॉट इनिशियली बहुत टफ होगा, बिकॉज वी हैव असाइनमेंट्स, लैब लिखना है, इतना सारा थिंग्स लाइक दैट. लेकिन धीरे धीरे 1 घंटा जब प्लेसमेंट को देने लगी मैं, तो मेरे को आई कुड सी द चेंज, आई कुड सी द इम्प्रूवमेंट इन स्पीड, सो दैट एक्चुअली पुश्ड मी टू गिव मोर टाइम एंड परफॉर्म बेटर.
You are a coder, right? So for placements at Dell, or not only Dell but other SAP Labs, maybe Amazon, from technical perspective क्या क्या जानना पड़ेगा? मतलब if I am a third year student or second year student and my goal is to get placed at SAP Labs or Dell, so how should I prepare myself in coding section?
So for that, सबसे पहले जो भी हमारा curriculum है, which is operating systems and DSA और computer networks, ये सारी चीज़ों का एक basic knowledge बहुत ज़रूरी है, because that is what is our BTech degree signifies, कि हमें ये particular subject आना चाहिए. So that's really important. And coding के purpose से, like competitive coding, I will be honest here, I was not a god in competitive coding, or I'm not one of the best coders of my batch or something like that. But एक mediocre से थोड़ा ऊपर coding level रखना is a very safe choice. And also focusing on projects. मतलब for example, Dell is my profile in Dell was a very web development based work, and my interview were also about my projects and my web development, whereas Amazon looks all about DSA and how optimized you can solve a coding question, whereas SAP Labs and companies like Nutanix, they are very computer networks oriented companies. तो थोड़ा थोड़ा demands and requirements change होता है company का, but overall projects and coding को एक important balance maintain
क्या क्या language जानना पड़ेगा मेरे को? What are the languages that I must know?
For languages, one object-oriented language, object-oriented programming language is important, like Java or C++, and Python is a coming age language. पहले नहीं होता था उतना, but nowadays companies are preferring Python because बहुत easy है optimized code लिखना उसमें. And C is also very important because it's a very basic language and that is a stepping stone of coding. So it's a foundational stone of coding. So C is also important. And apart from that, project related जो languages है, जो भी आपका domain है, that is enough.
CGPA कितना मैटर करता है? तुम्हारा 9.6 CGPA कितना इफेक्ट डाला?
Very discussed question.
CGPA मैटर करता है. If I am a 5 pointer, I know coding. Can I get placed at Dell?
So yeah, this is a very important question I would like to address. यहाँ पे है कि for campus placement, 8.5 to 9.5 is a very safe CGPA zone. Above 9.5 is also scary because not everybody wants a bookworm kind of a thing, because CGPA थोड़ा bookworm से relate कर जाता है at a lot of times. So 8.5 to 9.5 is a safe zone for campus placements. But 7 above सारे companies criteria रखती हैं. 7 point above हम ready है लेने को. In case of Dell, when it came for internship at a college, it was 7. But now when it came for campus placements of this batch, it was 8.5 above. So, and coming to your question कि 5 CGPA लेके if you are good at coding, तो college will never support you. तो वो campus placement में तो बैठने भी नहीं मिलेगा. Shortlist भी तब impossible है.
6.
No, 6.5 is like एकदम बेस. वो भी सेल्स जॉब में they allow 6.5, but technical में तो 7 above रखते हैं. But off
मेरे को नहीं
campus
मिलेगा.
में you can apply.
Okay, that's okay.
So tell us about the day you got placed, that particular
exactly.
6 to 7 hours. Tell us, how did it feel?
कैसे prepare किए अपने आप को, and how was the feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. So my internship was my placement was a different route than the usual. It was an internship based placement which I got. So starting from the day one, I would go back to December 2019 when the hackathon actually took place. Dell Technologies came to our campus with 5 to 6 industry level problem statements, and we were given the freedom of choosing any language, any domain to solve those problem statements. And we were supposed to work in teams. So I got myself a team of friends who were enthusiastic about doing it. And we focused on, we did a web development approach solution to our problem statement, and not the ones who proposed the best solution. But when we were asked to explain and present our solution, we were the ones who tried to be honest, and whatever we did, we tried to make them explain, we tried to make them understand our approach. We were not the world-class exact 100% sure solution, but our approach and our way of thinking is what we tried to put forward there.
So and approach then, is important.
We had an HR round, and the HR round was, yes, approach is important. And even putting forward your approach in the right way is important. And now coming to what exactly my interview was, my first technical interview was a presentation based where I was explaining my presentation. So this was when I grabbed the internship. The panel tried to put us down. Why have you used so many things on the presentation? You are going to step in the corporate world. This template is looking like this, and they were constantly trying to break our confidence.
Stress interview.
Yes, yes. And they were making weird faces, and you should never just think कि what क्या सोच रहे हैं वो लोग. एकदम अजीब सा शक्ल बनाए थे and एकदम highly disinterested. They were looking at our photos and then talking about themselves. बहुत ही panic feel करा रहे थे हमें, and कोई भी sentence complete करने नहीं दे रहे थे, another question पूछ रहे थे. तो ये था technical interview, but HR was very friendly. I'd like to stress one thing, that because I have a high CGPA, I was always given this question that why am I not going for higher studies? And everybody who has a 9 plus CGPA will encounter this question in some of the interviews. So you have to be very diplomatic here. You have to say surely that you're not going to attend higher studies if you want that company. Otherwise, they'll not, they'll have a negative feeling. Or what you can do, if you know the company provides an option of sending their employees for higher studies for an overall development of the company or organization, that I said that I don't want to go for higher studies. Then came my internship period, when it was my internship was very, like, they just gave me a live problem statement. I had nobody to help me. There was no um, tutorials or videos provided to me in order. I studied a new language in order to complete that project, because whatever languages I had known in web development was not something that company worked on. So that's how I worked, and they were really appreciating the fact that in order to complete the work, I took the pain of learning something new, and I'm ready to accept whatever kind of challenges they pose in this situation. And since it was virtual, we were having a lot of problems with our softwares and things like that. Since still we managed to make it through, they were really appreciating it. But at every phase of life, I would say that stress management is really important, क्योंकि ऐसे बार बार they were trying to put us down on the entire time कि नहीं, you cannot do this. I think that intern is doing better, and they try to compare you, but you have to come out of all of that.
Stress management is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means you need to put extra pressure, and you have to strategize according to the company that you are sitting, right?
Yes.
Was this your first company?
No. Yeah. This was my first company where I faced the interview. I did not qualify a few written rounds.
How did you
This was
feel
the
back
first
then?
interview.
How did you feel रिटर्न क्लियर नहीं हो
Yeah,
रहा है?
some
मैं
failure stories.
9.6 CGPA होकर रिटर्न क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब ये तो हाँ,
तो
कैसा लगता था उसको?
खुद को भी लगता था कि मैं बहुत अच्छी हूँ, एंड आई डिजर्व लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, एंड आई एम लाइक वन ऑफ द बेस्ट स्टूडेंट्स. तो ऐसे कैसे हो रहा है मेरे साथ, क्यों नहीं क्लियर हो रहा है? प्लस अदर पीपल अराउंड मी, यार ये तो 9 पॉइंटर, ये तो दिखावा का ही होता है, तो कुछ असली में नहीं होता है. ये सारी चीजें से होती है. बट देन you just have to think about आगे क्या है, above all this people putting you down and all this misunderstanding and low confidence. आगे just you'll have to look at the goal. That's what.
Okay, that was really nice, Disha. There are a couple of questions जो have been asked by our interns. They are कि what are the sites where you need to prepare? कौन सा sites है which they can also go and refer?
Materials, books and
Materials.
sites and all.
Yeah, materials. And how to avoid procrastination?
Procrastination, oh god, that is a national, or I would say a global problem that the entire generation is facing, right from somebody who's 10 years younger to somebody who's 20 years older than me. Procrastination is everybody's it's a part and parcel of everybody's life. So three four things which made me tackle procrastinate is how I would not say कि मैं बेस्ट हूँ एंड देन प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन होता ही नहीं था मेरे से, एकदम होता था. बट रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड होना पड़ेगा थोड़ा, और शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स रखने से प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन थोड़ा मैनेज करना इजी होता है, रादर देन थिंकिंग कि आई विल डू समथिंग इस महीने में, थिंक मैं ये 2 दिन में क्या करूंगी. एंड 2 दिन में करना ही है, बिकॉज तीसरे दिन को keep some engagement or some fun activity, and in order to do that fun activity you'll have to go through these 2 days of hard work. That is a very good way to tackle procrastination. And other thing is ki, keep on treating yourself. Matlab, if you achieve a small milestone, go and treat yourself, give yourself presents, enjoy, because you have completed that small milestone, enjoy. So this is how I used to tackle procrastination. Or yeah, coming to the sites from Geeks for Geeks, because they have the answers as well as the questions. And try to code yourself first, and then as वहाँ पे भी लिखा रहता है, practice this first and then go and look at the solution. This is for very easy questions. Then slowly 30-day challenges होते हैं हर वेबसाइट पे. My favorites are Leet Code and Hacker Rank. ये दो मुझे थोड़ा सा अपने लेवल का लगता है, अदरवाइज कोड हैकर और थोड़ा गॉड लेवल है तो मैं कभी कर नहीं पाई वो सब. 30 days challenges, 7 codes a week, इस टाइप के थोड़े स्मॉल ऑनलाइन चैलेंजेस लेने से बहुत बूस्ट मिलता है कि आज मैंने लीडर बोर्ड पे टॉप 10 पोजीशन पे आई मैं. ये सारी चीजें बहुत हेल्प करती है. एंड एप्टीट्यूड प्रेपरेशन के लिए देयर इज अ वेरी नाइस बुक बाय RS अग्रवाल, वो कर सकते हैं. बट आई वॉज नॉट अ बुक पर्सन, मतलब मैं बुक देख के सॉल्व नहीं कर पाती, मेरे को इतना मोटा बुक रहेगा तो वो वही रह जाएगा, काइंड ऑफ अ गर्ल आई एम. सो माई पर्सनली नफरत करते हैं सब उससे. टू बी ऑनेस्ट इट डज हेल्प अ लॉट अगर सीरियसली लिया जाए. एंड अपना वो सबसे बड़ा पॉइंट है ना, अपना प्रॉब्लम एरिया आइडेंटिफाई करना है. 3 parts in aptitude, which is English, quantitative and logical. But I was very poor in logical, so I used to work on that specifically. And timed test लेना बहुत जरूरी है, time frame के अंदर test लेना.
Great.
Great.
A big congratulations to you on your great placement that you have picked.
Thank you.
Big congratulations. Well done. We are really proud that our alumni are in this position. Many of them. This is a very nice.
Yeah.
Moving on, next we have Titik Q. So Shomik, what are
Yeah.
the things that we are going to ask Titik Q today?
Yeah. So Titik, we won't go to how to get placed, but your so the focus area of our discussion is after getting placed, what next? So so for you the question will be like placement जब हुआ, let me just go back and see कैसा लगा, मतलब वो फर्स्ट दिमाग में क्या आया, एक लाइन में बोलो.
वेल पहले तो काफी बड़ा हेडेक चला गया बिकॉज आई वाज नॉट वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट कि मेरा प्लेसमेंट होगा. एंड अनलाइक दिशा आई डिड नॉट हैव अ वेरी हाई सीजीपीए ईदर टू लाइक गिव मी कॉन्फिडेंस कि हाँ मेरे में. 8.1. I mean it's pretty average but not very high.
ठीक है.
So first thing was okay, big headache is gone. My parents are gonna stop pestering me about यार इसको job मिलेगा कि नहीं या unemployed बैठेगा ये. And my friends were very happy, like this guy got finally placed. Like this guy was always completely aloof. Like I did not have any idea what I'd do in the placements. I hardly studied, but I somehow got placed. So the first reaction was, okay, यार एक headache गया है सामने से. And I did not have any long-term plans after that. So उसके बारे में बाद में सोचा मैंने कि अब प्लेस हो गया, अब क्या करना है. That was a really second thought for me.
The first company that you got placed in, TTQ?
The first company I got placed in was the very first company that came to electronics campus. It was a core electronics company called Core EL. Okay. And so they held the placements only for electronics students. And I was the only one in electronics who got placed. And
you got placed in the first company in electronics, and you're telling that you don't study.
I did not study.
झूठ मत बोलो, मतलब लोग मारेंगे ये पॉडकास्ट देखने.
I seriously did not study. No one believes me, but
so this is your first company. Then what you did?
Yeah, then meanwhile I was doing the high radius internship as well. So yeah, and like I did not have any plans कि अच्छा एक में place हो गया तो expected ही नहीं था, अब क्या करें, कुछ सोचा ही नहीं था मैंने. So and then like once you get placed in one company, you're excluded from appearing for placements for various other companies unless like it's like a dream company or the package is like 2x the previous one. So the very next company I was eligible for was Yes Associates, and उसके लिए भी बैठा and उसके लिए भी एक बार में मिल गया somehow. Again, I
बिना
did
पढ़े
not
उसके में
prepare.
भी हो गया.
ZS skill actually, like you don't need to read actually anything. It's just analytical stuff.
Yeah, true.
Well, our
Yeah,
youth coordinator is a senior member in ZS, so this thing will
yeah,
be
I know.
communicated in his team that one of our employees said our employees do not need to prepare anything.
नहीं
नहीं,
नहीं,
that
but
is true.
after getting a job, you need to prepare. But for getting it, you don't need to like study, like rote learn something or prepare a coding language thoroughly, something like that.
So right after
Yeah.
you got the placement in ZS, I'm talking about
Yeah.
the one you are working right now. Right after getting the jobs, what were the preparations you took, and how did you develop yourself for your upcoming job?
Yeah. So initially, I did not know what to do. Right. So I did not exactly have an idea of what kind of a job it would be. Like I had a decent idea about the profile, but I did not know where to start preparing for it and how to start preparing for it.
Which profile?
I'm in the decision analytics associate profile.
DA.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
got it.
initially, I did not do anything. I did not prepare at all. Like first 3 to 4 months, like up to I'd say July to I'd say October, November. I did not prepare anything. I was mostly helping my friends prepare for their placements who were still unplaced, and mostly just having fun and chilling because I knew this was the last year of my college. After I start job, I obviously won't get to have as much fun, which I am very sure about right now that I definitely do not have enough time to have fun. So first 3 to 4 months, no preparation, nothing. After that, I started thinking that okay, like once I start the job, my CGPA, my skills, or whatever my reputation in college, that's not going to matter at all. The only thing that's going to matter is how skilled I am and what I can show my worth is at the workplace. So I started looking into what all I need to prepare for the job. So for decision analytics, you need to be fairly thorough with analytical procedures in different languages like R and Python, and you need to be good at Excel and and also statistics. So I started coding in Python and R, and I was not a coder at all. Like I did not, I was very bad at coding. So it was like picking up a completely new language. So for the 2 to 3 months leading up to the job, I pretty much only studied R, Python, and some machine learning.
So how
Okay.
did you prepare? How did you prepare yourself for studying Python? What are the books and all? What did you follow?
Okay, so I got a couple of courses of Udemy. There are some really good courses there. So you can look into those, and you can even get those courses for free, if you know what I mean. So
Uh,
yeah, so I got them for free, and I started preparing for those. And they are extremely good and very simple as well. Like they start from completely basic level, and I needed that because I did not have any knowledge about them. So yeah, I'd recommend that. Or there are very good YouTube sources as well, like
hmm.
4 to 5 hours long a thorough course of like Python from beginner to intermediate level at least. So there are lots of free online sources as well you can look to.
Very good.
Okay. So, Titikyo, tell me something about so once you start working, then is it like the learning stopped, or did you continue your learning curve, or you started working? How was it after you started working?
Okay, so after I started working, the learning curve grew exponentially. Like it's a very steep learning curve because whatever you learn in college or by your own, like it really does not truly prepare you for the job. So once you get on the job, you start learning. The learning happens from your colleagues. You see what they're doing, you see what their requirement from you is, and you learn on the basis of that. So truly, the learning only starts after you join the workplace and you understand what you have to do. Because like learning to write a couple of codes and doing a small statistical analysis is completely different from analyzing an actual problem statement from a client company and doing actual productive work that you can show to the clients. There are actual stakes here. There's accountability here, and it's a completely different world. So learning truly starts after you join.
Okay, so is it like when I suppose I got the job? So for many, it's like the end of the world. कि मेरे को job मिल गया. So do you really think that notion is correct, or you think the world starts from after you get a job?
Completely accurate. The world actually starts after you like actually start working. Like when you get the job, like that is the biggest change that is going to happen to your life. So it's a completely new start. For a lot of people, school to college was like a big change. Like you have to move to a hostel, you're living away from your hometown. But the structure of a college is still very much similar to a school. Like you're going to classes, you're being taught, you give exams, you pass them.
It is said that the world outside the college campus and inside the college campus are completely different. So,
Yep.
for our viewers, can you put that difference into words to make them better understand? How
Okay.
has it become different? Is it
Okay.
still staying alone, cooking your own food,
No.
and yes, how different it is?
Yeah. Okay. So one of the major things that's going to happen is, I mean, if people are going to move to, you're gonna have to move to a new city, most likely. You're very lucky if you get a job in your own hometown. So the first thing is looking for a flat, and you have to stay, and most likely you'll be staying with a couple of other roommates, and in a completely new state where you do not know the language. Like for example, I'm in Maharashtra, I do not know Marathi at all. It's very difficult for me to navigate around, get even something as simple as getting an auto. It's a completely new challenge. Like I spent most of my life in West Bengal and Odisha, and I was completely familiar with their languages and traditions. So moving to a completely new state, it's a new challenge in itself. Yeah.
Can you have friends at work?
Very
That's
good
my question.
question. Yeah. Well, it's a you can, and you also might not be able to make friends at
That's a
work.
diplomatic answer. No, we want the
Yeah,
honest
I
one.
mean,
That's a very diplomatic answer.
no, I mean it's not as black and white as that. You can make friends, but it can be very difficult because everyone at the workplace, they're only there. The most of them are just there to get the work done and get the hell out and just go back to their place. But when you're put in such stressful situations of working in a project together for such long periods of time, you automatically start making some bonds with them. So while it can be difficult, especially when you're new, it is definitely possible to make. Like, luckily, ZS has some really great people. I've had the pleasure of working with really good colleagues. So I've made some good friends, but it can be a mixed experience for different people. So not a very black and white answer. I know it's kind of diplomatic, but that's what I feel.
Okay, okay. So last one. How to get promoted? What are the steps I should do from day zero to get promotion as fast as possible?
Okay, so I mean, I've only been here for about 10 months and I haven't been promoted. So can't give a very concrete answer, but I can tell you how to excel at a workplace, like what I
Yeah.
feel you could do. So one of the best things is picking up things from your colleagues. All your colleagues will be more experienced than you. They'll have a lot more knowledge than you, and so the best thing you can do is look up to them and ask them about how to improve your skills. When you start working on a project, when you're staffed on a project, you will understand like what are the requirements of it, what are the expectations from you. You'll understand from your seniors, and you always have to try to outdo those expectations. You always have to be a step ahead. Like if someone expects you to learn a particular language in 7 days and get started with the project on the 8th day, you need to be able to tell them that, yeah, I'm confident starting on the 5th day itself, and I've also learned something extra. I've gone the extra mile and done some extra research from my own end. You need to show that willingness from your own side, and that is
Absolutely.
something not everyone does. And to really set yourself apart and to quickly get promoted, you really have to set yourself apart, because there's a whole lot of people who are going to be recruited with you to the same position. And so yeah, you need to show that willingness from yourself. You need to show that willingness to learn more, to approach people and ask questions. And yeah, I
To
think that's the
the
best way.
best conclusion will be proactive,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So now, last question from my end would be that Disha has talked about a type of stress management on her level. I would like you to do the same and discuss stress management on your level.
Okay. So the stress at this level is going to be completely from your work. So from my own experience, working at ZS, on average, you could be working anywhere between 10 to 14 hours, 14, 15 hours a day, depending on the requirements of the project. Like sometimes there are crunch hours, you're working basically 16, 18 hours a day. Nothing you can do about it. So the stress management here comes like how well can you balance your own life with the work? Like you need to eat, you need to relax. No one can work 24 hours a day for an entire week. And so what I've come to notice is like if you look for time, if you look for time to do something for your own self, you won't find time. The work will always eat up all the time you have. You need to make some time for everything that you want to do. If you look for time, you won't get it. So if you want to say have some snacks in the evening, take an evening walk, you need to make it clear to everyone in your team that yeah, this half an hour I'll be unavailable. Just be completely clear about it, and that goes for anything that you want to do. And apart from the weekdays and all the work days, there's obviously the weekends, and sometimes depending on the work requirements, you might be even working on the weekends. So this is very subjective, but try to give yourself some priority, try to give yourself some importance that this particular task that I want to do that helps relieve my mind is also important. It's not like completely work मेरे को सब करके दिखाना है जितना जल्दी हो सके. It'll you'll be stressed out like anything.
Yeah, true. So it's like if you keep on working, you can work for a shorter range, but if you try, you have to do that work-life balance to stress
Yeah,
it further or for a longer run, right?
yeah.
Thank you, Titikyo, for wonderful tips to the youngsters. Next, I have on the on the guest list is Preetha. So, as I give the introduction, if you are a third year, if you are a second year, if you are a fourth year, or if you are just graduated, or if you are 2 years, 3 years down your career, Preetha is an example you should look forward to. Like Preetha got placed in the first company, maybe the second company that came to our campus. She got placed at Deloitte, a dream company for many. Then she, after working for a couple of years, she went abroad on-site. She worked there for a very long period. She then got another job at a program manager level in a big startup and then come back at a fat paycheck. So I guess that's a kind of life everyone will look forward to and is very exciting. So Preetha, how did you manage it? How to excel in your career?
I won't say there is one specific mantra which will help you achieve any of this, but for me, I think it just fell in place and right things happened at the right time. But having said that, one thing that is very important is whatever you do, you should do it with your whole heart. Like no work is small. That is one thing I've learned in around 4 years of my career. So no work is small. Whatever you do, you should learn it well, and that is going to take you a long way. So every small task, if you try to learn it well, and you need to know how to fill in every knowledge gap, that is going to take you a long way. And I think getting placed or on site or switching, nothing can be very well planned. Like you cannot be like, okay, 1 year down the line I will go on site and I will get this opportunity. This is something that you cannot plan. But what you can do is you have to understand that on site is not an R&R. Okay, it is not a recognition or a reward that you're getting. It depends on business requirements. So just because somebody is getting and somebody is not, you should never get demotivated. Like there will be better opportunities awaiting you. So but at the same time, you have to ensure that you are doing your best and you're giving your 100%, so that whenever there is an opportunity, you are the one who is selected, apart from the, like, you stand out from the rest.
Great. Tell me something that, okay, what are the things when you joined Deloitte? Then what are the things you kept in mind? So everyone has a goal. In interviews, you are asked that what would you look for like 5 years down the line? What do you look forward to? That's a general question in the interview. So how did you materialize that? Okay, I have to do this. What are the steps? Small steps, but what were they?
So coincidentally, I was asked this very same question on my interview. And if I remember correctly, this is how I had approached the question, I would say. So at that point of time, something that was clear with me is I was not sure the type of job role I was getting into, or like the work that I would be expected to do. So, but I knew that 5 years down the line, I want to be in a position where I know the work that I'm doing really well, and I want to be accountable for the team I am working in, and I want people looking up to me. I was always wanted to be in a leadership role where I have people looking up to me for their work, for advice, and that was my answer then, and that is what I have stuck with
Very,
always.
very nice answer, I must say. Cool. Yeah. So now you can understand, like if you start with what, where we'll reach after 4 years. Okay. So Preeta, supposedly I am at a position where I've got two placement, so I'm switching, and I got two offers. So the first offer is supposedly 8 lakhs is my package that's they're offering, but the role is good. I like that role, and I got another job which is like 10 lakhs or 12 lakhs package, but I don't like the role. Which one should I opt for?
Definitely the one where you like the job role. I know it
Shamik,
is
are you having this much offer and you are not telling us? Is
No.
that the case?
uh, yes,
Sorry to
I
interrupt
mean,
you.
I would be interested to know that too.
You continue.
But seriously, I think everyone in this podcast or like the target audience that we are looking towards are still at the beginning of our careers. And at this point of time, it is very important we look only at the job role and not at the paycheck. Because once you are good at your work and you are you bring value to the table, your paycheck amount is going to multiply, and there is no doubt about it. But what is important is you do the work that you like, because that is going to give you job satisfaction, which is very, very important.
Great. Yeah, okay. That's but that's a very tricky thing, right? To leave a job offer which is paying you more. That's not that easy at it as it looks like.
Absolutely, it is not easy.
Yeah.
But again, if you for example, the example that I just mentioned, if you are meant to do a certain thing but you are being forced to do something else, so there will be a difference. And at the same time, there is one thing we are working in this industry, and we know, like we know there is something called normalization. So over a few years of time, you will get what you deserve. So maybe if you start at 1 lakh or 2 lakh less, it does not really matter. But over time, you will reach where you are supposed to. So I think patience is the key. You should be patient.
What about the current work-life balance that you are maintaining, and how are you managing it at this situation?
So I think with this entire pandemic situation, we are having to put in extra from each and every end. Like I think everybody is having to do that. But at the same time, I have accountability and I like the work I'm doing. So that kind of helps me balance. So even if I am a little tired one day and I know like the work I'm doing is I would like it. So I just put in that extra mile. And when you have a very good and understanding team, what happens is and you have good bonding and understanding, then today you are having to put maybe 12 hours, but next day when you have a little less on your plate, you can take a day off or a half day off. So this is how I think we should try to maintain work life balance at this point of time. It is very important to disconnect for half a day, or like as Titik, you correctly mentioned, you should have this expectation that this half an hour is my time and I'm not going to be available. So that will help you, just regain that energy and start working back again.
Great.
Truly.
So Preeta, maybe from my end, the last question would be: in your college life, you used to do trainings which were costly, like SAP training, and so much trainings that were. Do those things help? And what do you look forward to in a resume, and how should it be?
So so the role that I'm currently in is a project management role. So in order to drive the entire project, you have to understand, have a basic understand on the tools and technologies being used. But having said that, if anybody is to be hired in my organization, uh, in a similar role, what we would try to look for is the person should have some basic understanding of the technology, and secondly, the person should be very open to learning. I don't think certifications are very important unless and until you have the knowledge. So, I might know how to use the technology, but I do not have a certification to show, like, validate it. When at the same time, some XYZ has a certification, but when asked a question is not able to answer. So I would definitely prefer the person who has knowledge over the person who just has a certification to show. So certification only brings value to the table when you can justify the certification. Uh, and another thing is, whatever is put down on your resume, you have to be very true. So resume is not a place where you can fake, or you want to be like a different version from who you actually are. So that is one place which gives the recruiter an option to know you better. So that is one place you have to be totally true, and I would like to see somebody who is absolutely true to what what the person is and what they know, so that when asked a question, I don't see that this person is faking it. So that is a big
So
turn-off
Preeta,
for any interviewer.
tell me one more thing, that should resume exceed one page? Like when you are working for 4 years, should our resumes exceed one page, or it should be one page only?
I think for every fresher, it is good to keep the resume within one page. Your resume should contain highlight all the good things that you have done for all the different organizations you've worked in, and it does not matter if it is more than one page. But yeah, it also makes sense to keep it crisp and to the point. But at the same time, there is no limit to how long it can be. If you have done something really good, you should bring it on the table.
So guys, thanks a lot for this podcast, and I'm really proud that you are all were part of Desire and is now a part of the family and the fraternity. And along with helping the underprivileged, we can see how you people have grown from the time in college to now placed at multiple big companies, in Big Four, in Dell, the big tech giants. So thank you all, and I hope we will be in touch again. And your words will inspire each and every intern at Desire and every at a youth at large. So thanks again, and I hope you also be in touch with Desire. And
Yeah.
before we finish, it will be really nice if you would say in one line or two lines, how did Desire make an impact in your career till date?
Okay, so Desire holds a very emotional place in my life because I remember, initiating this entire organization with Shayan and Shomik and the rest of the team. And I hold so many memories, and that I cannot just begin talking about it. Having said that, I think the biggest learning from Desire was, mixing with a variety of people and understanding your own words. So I don't know, till before I was pushed in front of a few juniors to speak about my experience, I had ever had the exposure to talk, and I never knew that I could even go and talk to people, because I have been an introvert all my life. So I think these are hidden skills that you have inside you, which Desire helps to bring out, is something that I owe Desire to. And I think Desire was one big factor which played in my interview, and it totally revolved around speaking about Desire, what work we do, and what value we have brought to Bhubaneswar and the kids there. So I think people are, if you talk about Desire and if you are able to play it well, then it really, really is a very good advantage, and you can really, have the ball in your court in your interviews.
Thank you. Titikyu?
Yeah, so I joined Desire when I was in first year, and it was one of the most significant experiences, I'd say, of my college life. And like Prithadi said, one of the most significant things that Desire gave me an opportunity to explore or learn was developing good communication skills, because you're not only communicating to your juniors, you're also, when you go out to the slums, you're also trying to communicate with people who do not understand, you might not understand your language very well, and trying to get to know them, trying to understand what their issues are, and helping them out, that indirectly develops your communication skills really well. And also it helps you develop your empathy. And yeah, so Desire, uh, if Desire did not give me this platform, I don't think I'd discover that, yeah, I had the skill to be able to do something like that. And it is one of the most important skills and most valued skills you can have in your entire life. So I'm really thankful for Desire giving me this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
is not scripted, guys. Means
Yeah.
we have not scripted this part. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Disha.
Okay, I would say that Desire helped me learn about people. Conversation skills and communication skills were also, managed meanwhile, but learning about different people, how an organization actually functions, it gave us a very small scale example of how we have a hierarchy here, how things actually work. That was a very small picture of the whole corporate world we're going to step into. And when I talked about this with my team at my internship or in my HR interview, they really valued the work Desire Foundation does and how I have been a member of this team and brought change into lives of people. So that was a very highlighted point, that everybody who learned about Desire, like, they could never forget about what Desire did. So that made my that made a mark on my end.
Great, great, great. It's really nice that we did not
Yeah.
think when we had started that it will create such an impact. We just started, but it really feels proud that you guys are doing so good and Desire did actually impact in your life.
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess we are at the end of this podcast, and it was a very fun session. Hopefully, we all be connected and take Desire together way forward in the coming days.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you for having me.